You're listening to the Social U podcast, sponsored by Social University. Be sure to follow us on our socials listed in the show notes. Now, let's dive in. I'm Becky Johnson.
And I'm Laura Black, and welcome to the Social U podcast.
This week, we are talking about the cringiest things on social media. And I got to tell you, there's a lot of them. I've probably been a lot of them, but there are a lot of cringy things on social media.
I don't think you've been a lot of them, Becky. I mean, we're too aware.
Sometimes I look back, though, at my Facebook memories where it's like 8 years ago today, and I'm just like, who is that person? Why was I telling people what I was having for lunch? Like, who am I? What was that?
Yeah, but documenting life is different than cringe.
So my first cringe that I have is when people like their own posts.
Preach.
When it's like you make a post and you post like your own picture or something like that, and then you give it the thumbs up.
That's like giving yourself a high five in public. So that's so awkward and super cringe.
Yes.
I'm like, I have this visual of myself going, Somebody told me the other day, speaking of funny, that the praying hands emoji is really a high five emoji.
Yes. But I still use it as praying hands, even knowing that.
Me too. Me too. But I was like, I'm feeling old.
Because I do feel like if you sent it to somebody and meant it as a high five, they wouldn't get it.
It looks like they're praying.
Because I think most people associate it with praying hands.
Mm-hmm. I need like a list that says everything, like what these really are. Like what does the swirly eye one mean? The face with the swirly eyes?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Like it looks like it's hypnotized or something.
Yeah.
I would probably use it for like high.
That's how my day's going. Sorry, I just had to, since we're, high-fiving yourself in public, I had to share about that.
So what do you think is cringy on social media?
Anytime it's like super personal information, like the overshare.
Oh, yeah.
I don't need to know. I mean, I think what you're having for dinner is kind of dumb, but I could even get past that. It's kind of like documenting life. Like, we kind of make it our own little journal, but it's like make a private group or something if you're going to share really personal things that don't need to be seen. No, thank you.
You're documenting your divorce.
Yes, divorce, fights, affairs, anything like that, anything medical. No, yes. Thank you. We don't need to see pictures of that. That's cringe. I don't need
to know about your IBS. I mean, if you're like my actual like personal friend and we're close enough, you can tell me that not on social media.
Right. That's
You don't need to tell everybody how many times that you were in the bathroom today.
If you really want to, join a private group for IBS, and then you can talk about it to your heart's content.
Or you can even just say like, not feeling great today.
Yeah.
You get it?
No details necessary.
Along with that, I will say vague booking, where somebody says something that's obviously pointed and meant towards a particular person, but they don't name the person or the situation. People say things like, if you're going to be talking about me behind my back, you could at least do it to my face. You don't have to tell my sister, like,
right.
Just tell us who it is. Just tell us what's going on, or don't talk about it.
Unnecessary drama.
Yes.
Totally true.
So my next one is when people post profile pictures that are so poorly photoshopped and filtered, and especially the ones where the white of their eyes is like so white that it looks like paper, and their teeth are so white that it's like an alien, and you it's photoshopped, and they don't even have a nose because it's so diffused. That's cringy. And then also cringy is the people in the comments being like, you look so beautiful. And I'm like, you're not even human. What are you talking about?
This is not reality. That makes me think about, and I know some of them get a bad rap, but there's, I hate to say, but a lot of realtors have really old pictures. Oh my goodness, 30 years have gone by. You don't look like that. I mean, embrace who you are.
Right. The glamour shot is no longer the way to go for your realtor picture. If you have a glamour shot, get headshots done.
If your hair's totally changed colors, I'm not going to recognize you if I'm supposed to meet you. Come on.
Yeah. And I think people, when they're looking at pictures of themselves, they so badly want it to be perfect that they don't realize how unnatural it looks.
Mm-hmm. I think you're right.
Like, the whites of your eyes are not actually white.
Right.
Your teeth are not white, the color of a sheet of paper. Like, that looks so fake and everybody knows it's fake.
Right. I'm bad to put out my own skew of a picture. Like, I think certain looks look better, but I mean, keep it real. You have to tell me to keep it real.
Yeah, along with that, with the people putting out the horrible, filtered, terrible pictures and people being like, oh, you're so beautiful. The people that feel like they have the right to get online and body shame other people, or like the people that post pictures of people in the gym and like make fun of them and stuff. Yes. That is so cringy. Anything that you thought was attractive about yourself just went out the window when you did that, and nobody's going to like you, and everybody's going to think you're a terrible person, and people are going to be way more attracted to the person that you are shaming than they are to you.
Seriously. I mean, yeah, that's just going to backfire any way you look at it. The people who laugh are probably, they need backfire too.
Yeah, those people all need to just have their own spot on the internet where they can just leave the rest of us normal people alone.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'd have to say they need to be treated like the 2-year-olds that they are and have their phone taken away. I'm feeling feisty today. Another thing that makes me crazy is overusing the @everyone tag. To me, it's not exactly cringy, but it kind of is. Just those people who use it over and over. I kind of cringe when I see it and go, I'm done with y'all. Mm-mm.
If I ever get an that's to a whole bunch of people, or so-and-so wants you to look at their highlight, that is 100% guaranteed that I am not going to look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too.
If you actually want me to see something, that is not the best way to go about it. And I can't think for a minute that I'm the only person like that. I feel like most normal people, if you @everybody, are not going to go look at whatever it is you posted.
Right.
Because it's obviously not meant for them, or you wouldn't be doing it for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. What else on your list?
So this one is one that I have read so many like Bored Panda articles about this kind of thing. And it's where people get caught lying online for social media clout. My favorite one is this dude posts this picture of him at a fast food restaurant with this older lady. And he makes this whole post about seeing this woman sitting alone and looking lonely, and how he just felt like he should go hang out with her and talk to her. And it made his day better, and it made her day better. And it was great. And it seems like this really sweet post. And then underneath it, his friends are like, dude, that's your grandma. Like, why are you lying to people? And that is so cringy.
That is so cringe.
Or the ones that are like a picture of me and my girlfriend, and then the girl comments under it, we are not dating. Take this down. It gives me secondhand embarrassment for those people, even though they deserve it because they are lying on there. It's so embarrassing and it's so cringy.
Right. What about when people post an entire photo album and they're in every single picture?
Oh, yeah.
Every single picture. You're like,
and all of them are just like a close-up of their face. That's the ones that get me. It's like, here are 50 headshots of myself that I took with my phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, choose one, make it your profile, and move on. Let's go.
And listen, I'll be the first to say I love taking pictures with people. Like, yeah. I call them, instead of selfies, I call them ussies. I love taking ussies so that I can look back and be like, oh, look, I was with Laura that day and we had such a good time. But you might see me post 1 or 2 selfies in an album, but it's never going to be like, here's me and my face and again and again and again.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Even if I'm taking those pictures.
I'm totally using that term, by the way.
Like, I might go somewhere on a vacation and I might take 1 million pictures of myself at different places so I can look back and be like, here, I was at this place and I was at this place.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to post them all.
In every angle possible, here's me looking this way and here's me looking that way.
Right.
And yeah, that's funny. No, your pictures are not like that at all. I just mean the people who are so obnoxious about it. Oh my goodness.
So my next one is one that is mainly older people. It can happen to younger people, but I feel like mainly this is an older people thing. And it's when you post a status, but you think it's a direct message.
Oh.
So you post a status to everyone, but you think you're sending it to your granddaughter,
Yeah. Oops.
Like, hey, why don't you call me? You look so cute in that picture you posted. I can't wait to see you Friday. And it's like, that's their status.
Oops.
And it's kind of adorable, but it is cringy.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I actually had somebody do that to me that was not an older person. And it was actually somebody kind of trying to call me out on something and be kind of ugly to me. And they thought they were doing it privately and they did it as a post.
Oh, oops.
And that was fun for all of us.
What about to me, this one goes without saying, the nasty pictures. And I mean like foot fungus. I think we kind of covered that with the medical and all that's the IBS and all that, but come on, no cringy body part pictures.
The ones where it's like, I almost chopped my finger off. Here it is.
No, I don't want to diagnose that rash on your leg.
Right. Put the warning on there. You can give people the warning and then they can choose if they want to see the content. I'm okay with the warning.
Yeah.
But don't just let me be scrolling and all of a sudden I see your severed finger. Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of severed fingers, one of mine is when somebody has a tragedy and they post a tragedy and then you commented on it all about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like, my dog died and I'm having the worst day, and she was our dog for 15 years and we loved her so much. And then the person underneath that is like, oh, I'm so sorry. We just had a litter of puppies. They're $400. Do you want to get one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, that is so insensitive and cringy and gross. Please don't use people's tragedies to make a post about yourself or something that you're doing.
Right. Exactly. Oh, my word.
But on the other side of that, one of the other ones I have is the oversensitive people that want to get offended about everything. I was looking up articles about cringy things on the internet. I saw one where somebody had posted pictures of cookies they had made, Christmas cookies, and they were like, how come I use my mom's recipe, but these never taste like my mom's cookies when I make them? Mm-hmm. And then somebody underneath it was like, how insensitive it is of you to post this. Some people didn't grow up with moms that made them cookies on Christmas, and some of us didn't have that experience, and it's very insensitive of you to post this. And it's like, you can't take into account every single person's life in the entire world every time you post something. Oh, this water tastes so cold and refreshing. Well, there's people in the world that don't even have clean drinking water. Like, listen.
It's true. Like, half the time I don't want to post on a public anything, because if you share your opinion, somebody's going to come back and be a butt about it. Like, what's up with that?
Right. It's like, you need to grow up and put your big girl panties on and quit being offended about everything. Now, listen, some things are offensive.
Sure.
If
absolutely.
somebody posts something that's racist, like, that is offensive. If somebody's posting about their mom's Christmas cookies, get over yourself.
Yeah. And
everybody's had a hard life. Get over yourself.
And even if it is even if something is offensive, that doesn't mean you have to like be the internet police, and you can go on. So
listen, if it was posted by my child or somebody that I really, really am close to and feel like I can speak into their life, then I'm going to say something to them. But if it's like a random person on the internet, I'm not even going to waste my effort.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're not going to care anyway.
And sometimes take down the post and address it in person.
That's what you need to be doing with all that family drama that you're airing out on the Facebook.
That's right. It's not Jerry Springer Facebook. Well, I think it thinks it is sometimes.
You need to go to Aunt Chrissy's house and y'all talk that out. Like,
take her some cookies and work it out. You got more?
Unsolicited, inappropriate content. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
When somebody sends you that picture that you did not ask for. So I will throw this out here. My husband, because of his job, needs to be on social media so he can promote things about the place he works.
Yeah.
But he isn't really a big social media person. Like, he likes to get on Facebook and scroll and see what his friends are doing, but like, that's about it. So I actually run his Instagram account. Okay. It's logged on my phone. I'm the person that posts and comments as if I am him. I am his social media manager. The only things I won't post are if it's like our anniversary or my birthday. I make him get on there and do that. If he wants to do that, I'm not going to post like happy birthday to myself.
Oh, come on.
But otherwise, like, I do all of his social media. So I see all of the unsolicited spam DMs that he gets about like, hey, handsome, do you want to go check out my personal channel? And I'm just like, block, block, block. He gets all these follow requests from all these like half naked people. That is so cringe. When you send somebody, and it's probably not even that, it's not even a picture of the person sending it, but like, either way, when you send somebody a picture of yourself half naked and being like, hey, do you want to follow me? It comes across as super cringe and desperate. And I realize they're just like trying to make money and stuff, but it's still super cringe and still seems super desperate.
I go through spurts of getting requests from, like the picture looks like this older, suave guy, and sometimes in a uniform, sometimes not. They usually have clothes on, but you can tell it's so fake and so cringe. And you're like, yeah, no, I wonder what they really look like.
They look like, those pictures look like they took the Old Spice guy.
Yeah.
And they make him like a former Army pilot or something.
Yep.
And now he's in Germany. Like, it's so ridiculous.
Yes, on his speedboat or, like all something.
And
Oh, it's
listen, those people exist, but they're not out trying to find random strangers on the internet. They have people that want to date them in person because they're that cool. Like, they're not trying to solicit people in Ohio
I
to
know.
come be their girlfriend.
Oh my goodness. Those always crack me up. I'm always like, oh, nope. block.
So my next one is bragging, period. Now listen, I'm not talking about like when you get your master's degree and you want to post that, that's not bragging to me. That's like just sharing your accomplishment with the world.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like the people that are, all their pictures are like them sitting in their nice sports car, holding money. Like,
Yeah.
especially when they're bragging about things that are dumb to brag about, like thug life, bragging about having all these guns and fighting all these people and doing drugs. Like, that's so cool that you want to brag about the drugs you do. I just feel like they think it's so cool and they don't realize how it's so cringe. Like, the only other people that think that's cool are the people that are also cringe, that are also doing that.
Right. They're having a battle of the cringe and they don't even know it.
Right? It's like, I don't know, it's like trying to be the coolest person at the stupidity convention. It's not cool. And the only people that think it's cool are the other stupid people.
I need to remember that.
So, side note, because we're both from Alabama and we have funny sayings, I said something, I have gained a little weight lately, and I had put on a dress that used to fit me really good, and it was a little tight. And I wore it to church, and somebody was like, oh, what a cute dress, because I don't usually wear dresses. And I said, well, it is a cute dress, but I've gained a little weight, and today I feel like a busted can of biscuits. And they had never heard that.
A busted can of biscuits.
Apparently in Ohio, that is not a saying. So they all learned busted can of biscuits. I was like, Alabama, nobody would think twice about this. They say this all the time.
That is hilarious.
But I did, in fact, feel like a busted can of biscuits.
I wonder what they would say. I know, it's funny what different regions of the country call things.
I still laugh every time they say pop when they're talking about Cokes. Like, I'll never get used to it. It will always be funny to me. What kind of pop would you like? And I'm like, to me, that's like a grandfather.
Yeah. I used to do customer service, and I was in Alabama, and I would talk to people all over the country. And there was this one office I would talk to all the time, usually in the morning, and they would say, hey, pick me up some farina. And I'm like, what? I finally said, what in the world is farina? And they were like, oh, what do y'all call it? Cream of wheat. Oh, okay, I love that.
Nice.
It's funny. It's just funny what people call it. But pop and Coke, yeah, no, I'm a Coke girl every day.
Yeah, Coke. What kind of Coke do you like? Diet Mountain Dew.
Exactly.
It's like, I've tried to explain to people because they're like, but it's not Coke. And I'm like, yeah, all cotton swabs aren't Q-tips. All bandages aren't Band-Aids, but you still call them Q-tips and Band-Aids. It's the same thing.
I know, right? What do you call the thing at the grocery store that you push around?
That's a buggy.
It is a buggy. Thank you. It's a buggy.
Here it's a cart that I'm like,
it's a cart too.
I'm not that bougie. I'm not cultured enough to use a shopping cart. I use a buggy.
Yeah. It's a cart too, but I'm always, nope, it's a buggy.
So my last one, and this is one that hits deep, because it happened to me, and it's like, it really did not upset me at all. I thought it was hilarious and actually felt like I could mark it off the bucket list. And that's when people that have a huge following send their followers to harass another person.
Yeah.
So I was in a celebrity Twitter feud with a celebrity that will remain nameless. The same celebrity remained nameless in the video that I posted about him, but he knew it was him. So he got really mad because he was there and he knew the story and he knew I was talking about him. And so he sent his like however many million of followers to come attack me on the artist formerly known as Twitter. And I woke up one morning to 30,000 comments.
What?
And literally on Twitter, I had like 78 followers. I did not have a ton of followers. I might have had a few more than 78, but like I didn't even have 1,000 followers.
You probably picked up some that day.
I woke up to 30,000 comments, and that was just the beginning of the day. And there were people defending me, and there were people trashing me. And one of the cringiest things in that, besides the fact that he did that, and that was cringy, the people that had never met this person But because this person was on TV, they felt like they knew them and defended them. They were so loyal to defend this person they had never met. And they were like, he would never do that. I've actually met him. Have you met him? He actually did do that to me. I was there. You who have never met this person are going to defend him and be like, he would never do that because he's one of my favorite TV stars. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cringy. You're acting like you have a relationship with a person that you do not have. That is so cringy. When people act like they're close to famous people just because they see them on TV and on the internet, and they act like they have like this friendship that they do not have, that's right. Cringy. And I'm not saying I don't like love celebrities. There's some celebrities that I'm a huge fan of that I love, but I'm never going to just assume someone is lying about them. If somebody comes out and says, oh, they did this horrible thing, I'm also maybe not going to assume that that person's telling the truth. I'm going to assume that I don't know because I wasn't there and I don't know either of those people in real life, you know?
Exactly.
But so many people were so quick to say he would never. And I'm like, well, he nevered. He did.
He nevered.
It was super cringy.
You're throwing out some good words today.
I saw him nevering all over the place. And a few other people that had had interactions with this person chimed in to say, oh, yeah, that happened to me too. People just tried to shut him down like, absolutely, it did not.
Oh, my goodness. I take it you didn't take an Ussie with him.
Oh, I actually do have an Ussie with him, but that was before this happened.
That's awesome.
I will say this is actually a person that was famous enough that I paid for a picture with them at a nerd convention.
Okay.
They pretty famous enough that people were paying to have their picture made with them. And then they sent every one of their Twitter followers to come attack me online. People that had never met me, that didn't know anything about me, except that I told a story that was true about this person without even using their name. And I'm like, dude, if it's not true, how did he know I was talking about him? Because I never even said who it was.
He'd have been better off keeping his mouth shut.
Well, like, the video that he was talking about that I called him out in, before he said anything, it had like 60 views. It has way more than that now. I don't even know how many views it has now, but like a lot of people went and looked at it that day. So funny. It really just kind of helped me out. So,
right. It kind of makes me, his behavior kind of makes me think of the story you said at the beginning about when people film other people at the gym and then they're like laughing their butt off. You know, it shows you how they are. Well, he showed his true colors and his followers.
Oh, and let me tell you the worst part, the cringiest part of this story. I maybe tweeted 2 or 3 times about it, just not to him. I've actually blocked him, but after this started, but I tweeted it to a couple of other people that seemed reasonable, just to let them know, like, hey, this really did happen. He tweeted about it all day. He made so many tweets about it, like through this whole day. And it was his kid's birthday.
Oh my goodness. He was so present for that.
On his kid's birthday, he just basically live tweeted his feud with me all day.
Oh,
and I wear that as a badge of honor.
Man, you're famous in so many ways, Becky.
I'm the one that looked out on that deal. I thought it only made him look bad. Yeah, my YouTube at the time, I can't remember how many followers I had at the time, but it was probably less than 300 followers. And now I have like 1,400 and something followers, which is not a huge YouTube, but like it gained a lot of momentum that day.
Yeah, big jump. Yeah, that's awesome.
So Caryn, I want to bring you in now and find out what you think are some of the cringiest things on social media.
What you're talking about is punching down. It's when a larger creator picks on a smaller creator, and others should never have done it. I don't have any problem calling him out. It is what it is. Punching down is terrible thing to do.
And you don't have to be a celebrity. You could just be an influencer with a whole bunch of followers and do that.
Followers will get mad about somebody saying something about their favorite creator, and they'll go off and attack the other creator, and that's ridiculous. They're an adult. Let them fight their own fight. Stay out of it. I don't like, I think it's cringy when other people don't yuck my yum. You don't have to like what's happening, but you don't have to comment on it either. Why would you take time out of your day to leave a comment that says, I don't like this?
Yep. Just move along. I mean, that was my point earlier. Just to move along. Goodness.
I get that a lot because I'm weird and I make a lot of weird content sometimes, and people will just love to comment it and be like, this is awful. I don't like this. And I'm like, well, it's a good thing I didn't make it for you.
And going back to, again, what you guys said before, I don't want to know about anything that goes in or comes out of your body.
Yes.
Ever. I don't need to see your breakfast any more than I need to see your kidney stones. I don't want to know that.
That's for our private phone conversations.
Yeah. If you want to get like picky, like platform specific, for the love, stop putting PDF flyers on Facebook.
Yeah.
Stop putting QR codes on Instagram.
Preach.
Stop putting URLs and captions if they're not clickable.
Yep.
You cannot take everything you see at face value, Facebook boomers. Just because somebody said that if you don't copy and paste this, Facebook's going to steal your birthday, that doesn't make it true.
Right. And they already know your birthday. They didn't steal it. You gave it to them.
Correct. But before you post, just go check it out. Check on Snopes. Just Google it. See if it's real before you.
At midnight tonight, anybody that hasn't posted so-and-so, Facebook is going to start charging you $5 a month. And it's like, you look elderly when you post that, even if you're not.
It makes you look elderly. Stop cussing at the poor intern or social media manager or whoever it might be that is fielding the DMs for a brand. The people who run the brand don't see those DMs. They're never going to see those DMs.
Don't.
Stop tearing up the person who's monitoring the account.
Don't shoot the messenger.
It is overwhelming. We had an account a few years ago that I was a social media manager for. It was not volatile, but it was difficult. So I did it myself. Woo, it was a tearjerker because everything in it was so emotional. Oh. So don't attack the messenger.
We're just doing our best, guys. We're doing our best.
Right.
Living our best life. Don't get offended for somebody else.
Oh, that is one of my biggest pet peeves.
And it happens all the time. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that. That person's right there. And I've seen good examples of this and bad examples of this. But if they're offended, let them be offended. But don't get offended for them. Let them make their own decision. Over-filtered images where we know it's not you. That's not you.
Yeah.
You never looked like that.
Yeah. You didn't look like that 20 years ago. You don't look like that now.
Yeah.
Or photoshopping your children. Why do your kids need to be photoshopped?
They don't.
The only photoshopping you should do is put a little sticker over their face if you don't want them to be seen.
Yes. Or you'll have somebody who you know in real life who might be going through a separation or a divorce, but they'll post a picture. I have the best husband ever. Do you?
Obviously you don't, because I do.
This has happened more and more now. The more kids that are on social media, people attacking children. That kid didn't have anything to do. Like Northwest, I understand Northwest should have never done the whole Lion King thing, but it's not Northwest's fault. It's mom and dad's fault.
Right.
Attack mom and dad. Leave the kid out of it.
Yep.
There are just several instances where people are attacking the children, like that poor little girl who sang the national anthem so poorly. Not her fault. Mom and dad's fault. Rage bait. When you post something just to make people angry and you know it's rage bait, ridiculous. But one of my favorite cringy things, and it is cringy, but it's still, it's like watching a train wreck. Sometimes you can't look away from it. And that is when people's personal philosophy that they've espoused for multiple months or years bites them in the butt. I can't think of a non-political example, but people who talk very consistently about their beliefs and then come to find out later it applies to them.
You mean like they're hypocritical?
Yeah, but it can be, it can be worse than not just hypocritical, like someone who doesn't believe in dating and then you find out later they're married. Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or someone who doesn't believe in people of the same sex dating and you find out later that they actually have a partner of the same sex. Like, don't put your personal philosophy out there if it's going to come back and bite you later. One of the best examples, do you guys know who Pearl is?
Not unless we're talking about Will Ferrell's little landlord. That's the only one I know.
Still funny. She is very pro misogyny. She talks about how women lose their value at 30. Women need to stay home and be quiet. They shouldn't have their own opinion. The man should run everything. She's been very verbal about it. She's 29 and she's single. Her personal philosophy is about to put her in the ground. According to your own philosophy, at 30, it's over for you. So what are you going to do if you're still single at 30? Yeah.
And maybe the reason you're still single is because you say these things. Because even good men don't believe those things. And they're not going to want to be married to somebody that believes those things.
But even the men that believe in that philosophy, she's too old for them.
So true.
And that's what she believes. That's what she believes. She can believe it all day. But to me, the part that makes it kind of cringy or even entertaining is the fact that what she's saying is going to come back and bite her.
Well, it's also funny that she's talking about how women need to like stay home and be quiet while she's on a public platform talking about how women need to stay home and be quiet.
Well, she's on national TV talking about how women need to be quiet. That's what I'm saying.
Some people have no reality of their surroundings. I mean,
no. Her hope of ever dating Leonardo DiCaprio is now gone.
And there's a lot of rage bait. I mean, there's a ton of stuff where people will post it and you know it's fake. You know it's fake.
And it makes you wonder, like, sometimes with the polarizing views that people put out there, do they really believe it, or are they just trying to get clicks and make money?
They're trying to get clicks. And I don't know. I mean, she may not believe what she's saying herself, but it's gotten her a ton of attention and a ton of followers. I'm assuming she's had sponsorships. I don't know if she has or not, but she's got a pretty decent following now. So she may not believe it at all, but that's the angle she's taking today. Now, when she's 31, she may come back in an entirely different way, but we'll see.
And when she's 31, according to her standards that she has set forth, any man that will like her is probably not a quality man, or they'd be going after those under 30-year-old girls that still have value.
Yeah.
So sorry. Sorry, lady.
This is kind of cringy.
Life is obviously over at 30.
People who give advice about things they don't have any experience in, like the dating coach who's divorced.
I had to take a parenting class in foster parenting that was all about how to effectively parent children with emotional issues, that was taught by like a 24-year-old with 0 children.
That's tough.
And it's like trying to explain to somebody that everything that is in the textbook is not exactly how everything is going to go down in your house. Mm-hmm. And they have no experience with it. And they're just like, no, it actually is. If you do this, this is what's going to happen.
Incorrect.
Everybody
says that's not up there.
And how do I know? Because I've tried it and
I've done it.
It didn't happen.
Yeah, that's awful. There's a guy right now on that's getting trolled on TikTok because he gave some terrible, terrible dating advice because he is a dating coach. Well, come to find out, his wife has a restraining order against him and they're going through a divorce. So the fact that the advice is terrible advice.
Now, on the other side of that, the not cringy, one of the people, and probably some people think this is cringy, but there's this guy on YouTube that I love that almost got a divorce. He was cheating on his wife. He was like a terrible person. Then like he was leaving her and they decided to work it out and stay together. And he actually did like a lot of self-work, went through a lot of therapy, gained a lot of coping mechanisms and ways to make his wife feel valued and loved. And now he does videos that are like, this is the kind of jerk I was. Here's how to not be a jerk. I did all these things and these things were wrong. And this is how I have now learned that I'm supposed to do it. And so I'm going to share this with you so that maybe you don't have to go through what we went through. And I love that. I love when people like have growth and then share it, because I feel like a lot of times people are really private with the bad things that have happened. And it's really cool to see people being like, hey, this thing was horrible, but we learned how to fix it. And here's how to fix it. That's better than, hey, I've never gone through that, but if I had, this is what I would have done. And this is what would have surely worked, you know?
Right.
So for social media this week, I've got 2 things I want to talk about. One thing that will actually take up time and one thing that I'm just obsessed with right now. And the thing that I'm obsessed with right now is the Barbara's Rhubarb bar dance.
What language was that?
What's you?
Barbara's Rhubarb bar dance. It's a German tongue twister that has been turned into a German novelty song. And now there's like a TikTok dance and it's on YouTube. It's on Instagram Reels. And it is my obsession right now. My favorite YouTubers when it comes to dance are James and Yasmin, which is spelled like Jasmine. James and Yasmin, he's from Australia. She's from Germany. They're a cute little couple that do all these crazy, awesome dances. But their Barbara's Rhubarb bar is by far the best. And it is based on a German tongue twister. Because apparently in German, instead of like using a whole bunch of adjectives before a word, they just make one compound word.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
So this whole tongue twister is about Barbara's she makes a great rhubarb cake. So Barbara opens a rhubarb bar, and a bartender tells these barbarians to go to Barbara's rhubarb bar and try her rhubarb cake. And so when you get to like the end of it, it's talking about the barbarians sent by the bartender to Barbara's rhubarb bar. Like I have it written down because I knew I wouldn't remember it. This is the word. This is the compound word. Rhubarber, Barbara, barin, beer.
Wow.
That's one word.
We need nutrition, people.
If you haven't heard it, I highly suggest that you go on YouTube today and search Barbara's Rhubarb Bar. It's very catchy, and the dance is super cute.
Sure. Link in description.
I think that Caryn should do the dance for the next live. I suggested that today. She acted like I was crazy. I think it would be amazing.
Okay, please put that in the show notes. I need to see how that's really spelled.
It starts with the abracadabra. You've heard that, right? And they're doing the
No.
I can't believe that the TikTok queen has not seen this.
This is the point in life where Becky's slowly losing her grip on reality.
It's so good. I'm gonna send it to you.
I can't wait. I'm gonna look on YouTube.
If this was a movie, this would be the part where the narrator's like, and that's when Becky started her slow decline into bad.
No.
And then the other thing I want to talk about that was like more serious is I want your thoughts on AI art and the ethics of it. And two, the fact that at the moment, if you create art using AI, using Dolly or Playground or any of those things, you own the copyright to it. Whoever gives the prompt owns the copyright. There have been court cases where they have decided like a computer cannot own copyright.
Right.
So there's been this huge debate between these actual artists who are losing out and losing jobs to AI art and these people that really don't have any artistic ability, but they're able to make a good prompt and get like a cool picture. Thoughts?
That takes us back to the Adobe issue that's happening right now. Adobe's update includes a clause that gives them the right to screenshot or capture any of your artwork that's inside Adobe and use it copyright free worldwide. Not okay. It's not okay.
No.
If it's AI and you have to think about where does the AI get the inspiration for the art? From real art.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're grabbing that inspiration from real art, that's very unfair to the artists themselves.
Playing devil's advocate, if I create art, I am probably also using already created art as inspiration.
True.
But I'm actually having to use my hands and do the work.
Let me tell you the disconnect from me seeing inspiration and creating art. Huge gap, Grand Canyon gap. I can't do it. If you can physically do it using other people's art as inspiration, more power to you. But a computer, no, absolutely not. Just my 2 cents, my quarter.
I will tell you, one of the most fun things to do is go on to Dolly or Playground AI and just put in the weirdest prompts ever and see what you get. I like make them really long too. I'm like ethereal dragon princess with long iridescent pearlescent hair wearing a pink chiffon dress. Like I get crazy with it. And then
you
I'm
need
like,
to make a version of yourself as a unicorn.
In the style of Margaret Keane. And then I'm just like, what do I get? Something amazing.
Wow.
Nobody's buying it. I'm not selling it. Nobody's buying it.
There needs to be a Becky unicorn.
I am the Becky unicorn.
You are the Becky unicorn.
How can you improve on that? She's perfection.
Instead of a horn, I have an Akatsuki hat on today.
I want to see the artwork that goes with it.
So Sippin Social Tea this week. To all customers who are angry that I didn't respond at 2 a.m., there is one person monitoring this account and responding to hundreds of customers per day. On top of creating posts, juggling meetings, running ads for what feels like a million different projects, and then all the other random things that come across my desk. So yeah, I thought I deserved 6 hours of sleep last night.
Oh, amen to that.
Yeah, it's like, I can't believe you didn't immediately respond. And it's like, well, Susan, I'm not a robot. I'm a person.
Yeah.
If you want it to be an AI response, we can work on that. If you want the real thing, Give me a break.
Yeah.
Correct.
We live in such a world right now that everybody wants everything instantly. I mean, myself included. I mean, we have Amazon Prime, we have anything like that. And I think
it's going to take 2 days to get here. Yeah.
I know, right? We need to all take a step back and, realize that, come on, these are real people. You need to back up.
I cannot imagine my boss being able to get a hold of me 24/7 when I was 24.
But listen, these are the same people that go into a really nice restaurant and order a steak and expect it to be out in 5 minutes.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True.
One of my favorite things, and not necessarily with clients, but like in life in general, one of my mottos that I try to live by is under promise, over deliver.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I want to set those very clear boundaries. And then if I go above and beyond those boundaries, then you know that you're getting bonus.
Right.
Like that's not part of the deal. That is me over delivering.
Yeah.
Right. And when you overpromise, people are expecting things and then you're setting them up for frustration.
I might be able to have that done by Monday. It's not done by Monday. Well, why? Where is it? Yeah, I told you.
Yeah.
Well, you might. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But if I say I'll have it done by Wednesday and then it's done on Tuesday, you're like, wow, thanks.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Or how it is in my life sometimes, Caryn will just text me and be like, hey, do you have so-and-so done? And I'm like, wait,
what?
I forgot that thing. That's a thing. Working on it right now.
Doing it now. Yeah.
It's in process. Hold your horses.
Yeah. Have it to you in a minute.
I'm so paranoid. If I don't write it down, I totally forget.
Yeah, I leave it in my inbox until I'm done with it.
I have a friend who is planner obsessed, and she uses the Happy Planner. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Happy Planner.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow I knew that you would be with the Happy Planner. She has the classic. They have like a big one, and then the classic is like the regular sized, and then they have the mini and the something. They have like all these different sizes, and she has all of them. It's like a mother planner and all of its babies in her purse. And she showed me her classic planner, and I was thinking, oh, it's not going to be like, I'm not going to like it because it's just going to be a calendar. And it is not. They have so many different things in there that are so specific. Like this is where you write down this thing, and here's like your week at a glance, which is normal. But then here's my fitness goals for this month. Like it's just like all these things that are super specific. And now I want one.
I'll give you a choice. Here's a shameless plug for Plum Paper. I just got one of those this year and I love it. You can customize the boxes.
Oh,
which is kind of fun. And I don't use it like I thought I would. So now next time I'll do it a little differently.
She's got like pages in there that are like for her word of the year. And like
I'll do that.
Go in there and write down like every time there's an occurrence that has something to do with her word of the year. Like they're so specific.
That's like a diary / planner.
It is.
I don't have time for that. I'm not a diary person.
I think that's what has attracted me to it is it's like a journal / planner.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it would just be everything all in the same place.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah, cool. So
Caryn's so bored.
Okay, we will now do our social media hotline so that Caryn wakes back up. Laura and I are obsessed with stationery and planners.
Mm-hmm. I was going to ask you another question, but I'll stop.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, it's about planners. I'd hate you, poor Caryn.
Somehow I'll get through it. Yeah.
We shall move on.
Hi. You have a complaint? Okay, your social media manager made a post on your page, and it was wrong. Oh, no. Let me take a look. Okay, it's a copy and paste from your website. Your website. They pasted information from your own website, and it's wrong. Okay, that's not a them problem, is it? That's a user error. Okay, you go fix that website, then you call us back. Okay, bye-bye.
That's not a them problem, is it?
That has totally happened to me more than once.
Me too.
Same.
Where'd you get that? Directly from your website.
Right. You can't get mad at your social media manager for sharing things that you have on your public website.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because they should be able to assume that those things are true.
Join us next time when we talk about other fun stuff with each other.
Yay. Thanks for listening to the Social U podcast, sponsored by Social University. We'll see you next week.